Good morning! So if you watched my previous video, you have seen me dig out this old shed here. Since then I've been going through the materials, I've been sorting them all out. So I've got a pile of metal there to go to the scrapyard. I've also got all the bricks here that are all nicely cleaned up and they're ready to rebuild the shed. Now unfortunately I haven't quite got enough bricks yet to sort the shed out because some of them fell this way. So I'm going to have to clear this area too. Now this is a second shed. Now as you can see there's lots of corrugated metal. That's what the shed was built out of. Other than that, I know nothing about this. This has been collapsed for over 10 years. It could be even longer than that. Now I'm hoping there is a concrete base under here somewhere. I have managed to find a slab of concrete and you can see it's got a corrugated edge there. So that was clearly poured inside the shed. My only concern is that's a lot higher than in here. So it'd be nice to know what's going on underneath here. So yeah, best thing to do is start digging and see if I find any treasures. This is going to be interesting. Well, it's been a couple of hours and I seem to be doing well so far. So I did get slowed down because there's a big pile of glass there. Now I think that was a couple of picture frames because the glass there was incredibly thin. But I've got a good selection of bottles and things going on up there. I'll go through all of those at the end of the video. I've got quite a few bricks piled up there. So there's still a lot more bricks to go in here. But I'm thinking the camera battery's getting flat. I'm getting worn out. So I'm going to have a quick break and then I'll come back to it. Now I would like to expand out from that area, but it's actually getting quite difficult. So I might come back and just go straight for this area and then work my way back to that. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute when the camera's all charged up. Right, well I think I'm going to turn the camera off just while I finish this corner here, because I'm finding nothing but broken glass. Now I did find the remains of the window frame here, so there is broken window glass in here. I still think there's picture frames in there as well, because there's a thinner type of glass which I think is the picture frames, and then there's broken glass from bottles. So it's taking forever to sift through that and try and do it safely. So I'll just turn the camera off, finish that off, and I'll pick it up again another day. So I still need to dig out that far. I don't know how far it goes into the hill there. Obviously I've got the wall there as a defining edge and that as a defining edge, but as for that way there and that way there, I have no idea how big this concrete pad is. There is one feature though that I am finding very intriguing, which is this terracotta thing here. So I'm thinking I might just take a little bit more of a dig around that before I put the camera away for today. So it appears that was exactly what I was expecting, which is the base of one of these decorative garden urns. Obviously it's incredibly broken, but the way it was sat, it lined up so perfectly with this crack here, it actually looked like it had been cemented into place. And I thought, why would anyone cement something like that into the middle of the shed? But no, it appears it had just been sat there, and yeah, dirt had built up around it. So yeah, right, I'm going to finish this off and I shall see you in a bit. So I've cleared the worst of the glass from this corner here, so it should be straightforward digging from now on. Unfortunately yesterday it absolutely chucked it down and I didn't get any more dug out, so I've actually decided now that I'm going to do that section as a separate video. But I did say at the end of this video I'd go through the bottles and things, so that's what I'm going to go on to next. But before that, I just want to have a quick talk about this floor. So I thought this was a concrete slab that had all broken up, and it isn't. It's actually crazy paving, because if you look down on this piece here, you can see there's a beautiful curved edge to it, which is where it was poured up against some corrugated metal. There's also a difference in texture on the surface of this piece of concrete to this piece of concrete. So yeah, that was clearly two different areas of concrete that have been broken up and brought in to make the floor. So that makes me feel a bit better about it all being broken up. And I'm actually thinking I'll probably lift it and see what's underneath it. But yeah, so bottles. Well, I've got a good selection of bottles and bits here that I found, some of which I don't actually have any idea what they are. So I'll go through some of the bits that I know what they are and anything that I find interesting. So obviously found a dustbin lid, found a couple of pot lids as well, but they're quite self-explanatory. The bottles here, I do want to wash these to see if it helps improve them. I'm a little concerned because we've got a couple of these milk bottles here. So you can see farm fresh cream and fresh laid eggs. And on the other side, all I can make out is Taliban, but there's quite a logo there. Problem is I'm concerned cleaning them will going to wash those off, but there's 3 of the milk bottles there. I've got a couple of these bottles here, so they've got like a Pegasus at the top there, quite nice ridges on them, and down the bottom here you've got Wrexham Border table waters. So there's 2 bottles of that. Unfortunately the other one is missing its base. With the bottles here, you've got this one here, so got nice sunshine top to it. I thought that was nice. And we've got a cork here from a distillery, can't make out any more on that. Now I've got 2 of these bottles, so one with a cap, one without, and if you look round the top of it, got Smith's all-in-one. So I don't know what Smith's all-in-one does, but it's got measuring marks on the side there, so I wonder if that's some sort of medicine. Talking about medicine, we've got quite a few small bottles here, but we've got this one here which I'm really intrigued by. So being brown, that really does strike me as a medicine bottle, and it's got the remains of a red rubber cork in there, but it's also got some sort of liquid in there, so I shudder to think what that is in there. I'm certainly not going to be trying it. And then we've got this one here, Frantin Drench bottle, so I don't know if that's just the make of the bottle and it's got something else in there, but that's a plastic bottle instead, so yeah, don't know what that was. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the bottles. Oh yeah, nice square one there as well, which I found nice. But yeah, on to the other stuff that we found. So we've got little ceramic cup here. I wonder if that was some sort of storage jar. Got a nice offcut with a red tile here, so no idea where that was from, but I thought that was nice. Obviously got an enamel pan there and a large pot. I'm assuming that's some sort of cooking pot. It's a shame it's missing its base completely, but it's still an interesting pot. Yeah, now we're starting to get onto the bits that I find a little bit more confusing. So there was this, which I'm assuming is some sort of woven carpet. So I'm amazed that it still remains. I am going to get rid of it, but I thought I'll keep that little bit to show you. We've got this stuff here, which is a very thin tile. I'm concerned that's asbestos, but yeah, not to worry about that for the moment. Got these discs here. Now, they just look like aluminium discs. That's not too much of an issue, aluminium discs. My thought is, why would you need an aluminium disc like that? What was its purpose? So those got me intrigued. This thing here got me intrigued as well. So initial look at it, I thought, oh yeah, it's an old light switch. But there's nothing on the base here for fixing it. So my only other thought is if it's sort of sat on the counter and it's one of those ding bells. But yeah, the base of it appears to be a clear plastic. Then looking around here, that appears to be, well, that almost looks like a light bulb, screw-in light bulb. So I've got no idea what that is. Yeah, this thing looks lethal, doesn't it? So that, I think I know what that is. So I think that is what people use when they're cutting slates. So the idea is the spike there, you hammer it into a log, you'd then rest your slate onto it like that, and you'd then use another blade to go down it like that, and you'd use that to cut your slate. That's what I think it is. If it isn't, I shudder to think what you'd use that for. But yeah, other than that, I've got a couple of bits on the wall here, and that's it. So that, I think, it was in the end of the rubber hose that I found. So that is obviously some garden sprayer, but I think it's missing a part, because at the moment that would just be quite a tight jet. I'm pretty sure that's the remains of a battery. And then got a couple of bones that I found. Still not a full skeleton, but getting there with the bones. Then this is the final thing that I'm thinking, I have no idea what it is. So it looks like a wooden propeller, and it's clearly got slots in there. So again, I'm amazed this has been outside for all this time and not rotted away. But I've got no idea what you'd use it for. Clearly those screws aren't in properly, so the only thought I possibly had is if it was some sort of plate hanger. I can't think of what else it would be. But yeah, so I'll probably clean these up. I might do another video showing these a little bit more in depth. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, I will do a separate video where I carry on digging out that, but that will probably be next week. And yeah, I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you later.